Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your favorite broadcasters this side of the Mississippi. It's Luke alongside Kevin, and we are back with the Super Speedway Kings at Talladega tonight. Kevin, how you doing?
Man, I'm super excited, Luke, as usual. I'm having a good one, and I am ready for some racing.
Hey, me too, Kevin. It's going to be not a very long race out here tonight. I believe we're just under 30 laps, if I'm not mistaken. 28 on the night, I believe, right?
Yep, 28 laps at Talladega.
Oh, boy. And, I mean, one of my favorite tracks, personally, you know. We got a good chat going tonight. Baker's mom, what's going on? We got everybody in here tonight. It's going to be a good one tonight, Kevin.
Yeah, and, you know, the last race was a good race. There were some incidents that could have been avoided, but all in all, it was some tight racing. There was some super exciting racing over at PGR. They did a great job. And how about the four-wide racing that we've seen in this this group of people time and time again? It really gets you excited to see what's to come in these just 28 laps of racing.
Hey, that, and it also makes me a little bit nervous. I know some tempers were flaring in the last race we just saw a few moments ago. So I think it's going to make for a very, very exciting race here tonight, Kevin.
Yeah, and I've got to agree. You know, just getting the grid pulled up now. I mean, we got a lot of big names in this one, Luke. I think we're in for a show.
Yeah, it's all yours whenever you want it, man. And that's a long grid. All yours, buddy.
Now, how about on the pole? None other than Daniel Falkingham and Alex Hill are going to be on his outside. Alex Hill got the pole in the last race, staying up on the front row in this one. The second row is going to be Sebastian Marin and Andrew Navarro on his outside. Third row is going to be Mike George and Connor Yarashak. Fourth row is going to be Kenny Reel and Steve Karasak. Fifth row is going to be Nash Brambilla and Cody Neagles. Sixth row is going to be David Flanagan, and on his outside is going to be Dylan Alt. Seventh row is going to be John Hall and Asher Little, up-and-comer. Next, you're going to have Matt Lee and Landon Velicky, followed by Logan York and Ethan Eckert. Then on the 10th row, it's going to be Sean Corbett and Matthew Baker. 11th row is going to be Nathan Harper and Malik Ray. Then we're going to have Trevor Aspernoth and Freddie Bassinez. Following them is going to be Steve Sizemore and Stephen Miles. Next is going to be Josh McCullough and Brock Westmoreland. Kwame Scott and Joey Masowicz. Then you're going to have Jack Long and Tyler Vickery. Then it's going to be Sterling Tice and Quentin Steinbach. Then it's going to be Michael Wingo and James Wagner. And rounding out the field is going to be David Davis. So it's going to be a 37-person field as far as I know. Super exciting stuff, Luke.
Yeah, and like you said, Kevin, a very big field of drivers out here tonight, and it's going to be an exciting one out here. Not a long race, but definitely a lot of excitement here packed into this small one. And I'm looking at the poll out here tonight. It's an 87% over on the 3.5 cautions on the night. We got a nice little prediction going in the chat. So currently, the over is winning 87% and under is 12. So a lot of predictions here for a lot of cautions, Kevin.
Yeah, and it seems the theme of the past few nights with R&R, and then with PGR last night, and then with the first race here at SSK, it's been a lot of cautions just stacked up into one short bit of the race. Just once they get going, they can't stop getting into incidents. So hopefully we don't see that here. We want to see some green racing. We know here at SSK that's some of the hardest green flag racing you're gonna see. So we're excited. We want to see some hard racing, but we don't want to see it too hard.
Yeah, but at the same time, Kevin, you know me. I'm one for excitement out here. I love seeing the rough racing, but at the same time, we like to see the driver's safety. So it's a 50-50 thing out here. But I personally like to see some rough racing. So I think these guys need to get out here and. I mean, what's the payout rate looking like right now? Like, what's our payout bracket?
Let me see. Not sure if we have one, so unknown to us.
Okay. Top
Just based
six.
off the
Top
flyer I
six
was
so
given.
far,
Top-
it looks like, but
Yep, you're right. Top
amounts,
6.
yeah, amounts are based on more
That
drivers.
based
But
off
we'll have to talk about
33.
that later. The pace car is in the prolonged restart at Talladega.
Yeah, and it's going to be the command of none other than Daniel Falkingham. In a little bit different scheme than we're used to seeing in these Gen 6 cars. They're going into the Geico restart zone, and they are green here at Talladega. 28 laps of racing ahead of us, Luke. Here we go.
Yeah, and the green flag is waving, and we are already seeing that third line being tested immediately. Three
Oh,
cars
they're
shuffle up,
really
4
going
cars
up there.
shuffle up, and it's already being tested early.
And Falkingham and Hill side by side. It seems to be safe on those first 2 lines as of now. The third line is coming, though. They don't have too much time. Hill making it really work on that top line. They seem to have
Boy, they're
all
moving.
piled up there. That second line really just turned into that third line. But
Oh, man,
the
and look at
drop
that.
comes for Korosek. He goes into the inside. Navarro goes in. Hill staying up top with Navarro actually.
Oh, we're
and,
4 wide!
we're racing hard.
Oh,
and we're racing
boy.
very right on the edge.
Oh, we're
And-
wrecking!
oh, we're wrecking
We're wrecking lap 1!
in the
And
12
they're
of
fucking sideways in the wall! Holy shit!
Ooh.
And it's gonna
And that's-
clear out so many cars!
That's going to be the 12 car, usually Eckert. I'm not quite sure who it is tonight. I want to say it's probably Eckert. Once again, the 29 car is involved heavily. That's Matt Lee. The 36 got into that one. That's Nathan Harper. Just a lot of big names. They do have a fast repair out here, but not what you want to see early here, Luke.
Oh, man, I mean, we didn't even get a lap in, Kevin. We didn't even get a single lap clean. That was wild. First caution is out, lap 1. Let's go ahead and take a look back here at where that one started, and what a surprise. I had a feeling it happened probably right around where that 4 wide was going on. Yeah, it actually seems like it happened in front of him, actually. Let me go back a little
Yeah,
bit.
and
Let's
it
see.
seemed to have
It involved the number
it was
21.
one of those
there.
upfront wrecks that just prolonged into the back of the pack and just took out a lot of the guys. That's going to be the 21 car of Connor Yorshek. One of the best drivers out here, in my opinion.
Ooh.
It's an awkward bump from the 6 of Cody Neagles, and they both go for a ride.
Ooh.
Just I want to say a racing incident between the two of them. Not what you usually see from them, though, Luke.
Yeah, I mean, it's not traditional that we see a wreck early on out here, but, honestly, if it's a rip the Band-Aid off situation, I'd rather him get it done early than later, because, I mean, that was a nasty one early on.
Yeah, and I will say these guys all have a fast repair to their in their pocket if they choose to take it, and I think a lot of them are going to choose to do so here early, as we see a lot of cars go around. We see a lot of cars go into that safer barrier on the outside wall. But got about a lap through, Luke. If that's going to set the pace of this race, we're in for a long 28 laps.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on how these drivers shape up here. We're seeing at least half the field out here in the pits. I'm looking at P21 all the way down to P26 in the pits right now, or 36 in the pits right now. So
Yeah,
a lot of drivers in the pits.
These guys really came out guns a-blazing, Luke. We saw 3 wide before we even got to turn 1. And then we saw, a couple guys peeking at even 4 wide on that backstretch. So it really goes to show these guys aren't messing around. They're not wasting any time. They want to get out there and they want to get to the front. So it's going to cause incidents. It's part of the game.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's gonna happen, but at the same time, I mean, this early on, it's you hate to get all these fast repairs out of your way early. I mean, but I mean, yeah, it's tough to say. It's definitely gonna be an exciting one going on late into this one for sure. Yeah, so far, what is that? Coruscant, Hill, Falkingham, Navarro, and Marin are gonna be your top 5 when we get ready to go green.
Yeah, and not too many big transfers as of yet. I like talking about the biggest movers of the night. It was only one lap. We saw Logan York go from 17 to 9. That's an 8-spot transfer. We saw Malik Ray go from 22 to 10. That's a 12-spot transfer. Um, trying to see who else we got up there in the mix. Obviously, we saw some not so great transfers from guys that were up in the front, now maybe towards the back of the pack, but we're not gonna talk much about those.
Yeah, definitely an unfortunate event here early on for a good
How
number of the drivers out here.
how about Brock
Safe to say.
Westmoreland? He goes from 28th to 11th. That's a hell of a move for him.
Yeah, and like you said, a lot of movers out here tonight so far, and so few laps ran.
Yeah, no doubt. We're still gonna have plenty of racing ahead of us. It's really just I don't know. I want to say a clean sheet of just a new race almost for these guys. They're coming out here with still 24 of the 28 laps to go when they go green, and whoever needed that fast repair is taking it. So it's basically the restart of the race here, Luke.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, you said it perfectly. It's a good reset for a lot of these drivers. Maybe not satisfied with their early jump, maybe wanting to change things up. It's definitely a good opportunity for them to change things up and get back in this one.
And we know a lot of these guys: Ethan Eckert, Cody Niegels, Connor Yarashak. They're gonna need to make up some ground here, but the three names I just mentioned, there's no one better in the business at making up ground in a hurry than those three guys. So I think most of the guys that were involved heavily in this wreck, we're going to see them back in this race very shortly.
Yeah, and one can only hope. A lot of vehicles involved, but there's going to be your top 20 at the moment when we get ready to go green. This time by, we have 24 to go. And it seems we're already getting requests to possibly change our line from 3.5 cautions.
Well, yeah, I've been a little optimistic on the two lines that I've decided to try and set. Um, I'm gonna open it up as a Q&A, Luke. I'm gonna just let the viewers decide how many cautions they think is going to happen to the exact number.
Yeah, that's fair. But enough talking. Pace car is in, and they're crossing the Geico restart. Green flag is being waved, and we are green once again at Talladega. Super Speedway Kings, here we go.
Yeah, and we saw this earlier, kind of that late restart, waiting for the flag to come out as opposed to just doing it straight into the restart zone. That's really benefited this outside line. It seems they've had a lot of speed coming out of 2 here, but the third line has already started, and
It's moving,
it's already,
too.
yeah, it's already very
Oh, and they're
heavy.
loose!
And they're bumping around, they're wrecking again.
Oh, they're wrecking again!
Oh, and this is gonna be a big one again.
Hold it together, boys, hold it
involved.
together, hold it together!
It seems
Eh,
everyone
wait a
able to
minute,
hold
seems
it
like we held it
together
together.
pretty good.
Wow. I mean, overall, it looked like it was going to be catastrophic, I'll be honest with you. Let's go back and take a look there. That looked like it was going to be very bad, I can't lie to you. The guys held it together very well from what we saw. Yeah, the contact there between those three. 22 holds it together, wow. What a save by the 22 of Nash Brambilla. I need to see who else was involved there. Who was the car? Who's the 33? 33, that's going to be Mike George. Like George took a nasty bump there.
3 and the 4 get into it. I'm not quite sure who the 4 is. I want to say that's
Oof.
maybe well, it's one of those things, Luke, where it's not actually the number 4. So you know how much that pisses me off.
Well, just as much as it does me, probably, Kevin. But, I mean, overall, it seems as though maybe some of these drivers, I mean, I don't really know what to say there. That was some very, very good saves from these drivers. They seem to hold it together fairly well, but regardless, the officials saw more than 2 vehicles in contact, so the caution was thrown. But nonetheless, we are 2 cautions into this race, and not even 2 clean laps in yet, Kevin.
Yeah, and Luke, there's a lot of theories on why these incidents happen. Like Devin in the chat saying they can't run in the trucks. How could they run in such a fast car? And I agree with that. I think one of the biggest issues is style of racing between these guys. It's so different. We have people that are C-class drivers running the Draft Masters, and then we have people running the Coca-Cola series, and it's just they race it completely different. You don't see moves like the coming down onto the second line, shooting up 4 wide, stuff like that in the lower class driving. And when these guys see it, it's almost like it it shocks them, and they just don't really know what to do in that situation. So I think the mixing pot, which is a great thing, it's a great thing Jimmy's putting on because it's a lot of experience. But I think that's why we're seeing some of these incidents.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. A lot of talented drivers out here trying to fight for some money. I mean, it's bound to happen.
Yeah. But we had almost everyone guessing 5 cautions, Luke, and that was when I put the Q&A up, which was actually a little bit before that second incident or second caution, so I don't know if that's going to be people's final answer, but right now it seems to be just about everyone thinking that we're going to see 5 out here.
Yeah, that's thus far, though, of course. We still got a lot of racing left, and the way things have gone tonight so far, we might be in for the long haul so far. I mean, we haven't even seen I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, please, but I don't think we've seen a full clean lap yet, have we?
Um, yeah, I think you're right. I think we've seen incidents coming out of 3 and 4, and then also incidents on the backstretch, but I don't think we've seen them go around an entire time yet.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can get one clean one in here this time by. Yeah, so far the story of the night is a lot more pacing than we've seen racing.
And
I've said
pacing
it
ain't
better
racing,
myself, Devin.
so we're hoping for a green flag run here. Fingers crossed. But at the end of the day, we're gonna have to see one because these guys only have one fast repair, and if at the pace we're going right now, it's not gonna hold. It's not gonna stick.
Yeah, but then again, who knows? Maybe they were just getting their funk out early, and we're about to see some extremely clean racing all the way to the end. You never really know what to expect with these drivers. Something like that, Devin. Yeah, it's going to be the command of Steve Korosek. He's going to be leading us off here when we get ready to go green again. I believe he was leading us off of our first one, correct?
He was leading us off of our second one. Falkingham took the lead on our first one, and
That's right.
he's been able to maintain that top 5 spot, so not bad for him. I know he's gotten in front of both the incidents. Most of those top 5 guys have. But yeah, Korosek been very strong off both these restarts, so we're gonna have to see what he can do here. And Luke, I think it's time for you know what? No, I'll wait because I probably should have said this before we were coming out of 3 and 4. But
Already trying to jump to the car schemes, huh?
all I'm gonna say is these are new cars. These are the Gen
They
6s,
are.
and I
They are.
don't think we've really looked at these
No, we
schemes that
haven't,
much.
and I'm getting excited already just looking at them. And at the rate things have went tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if we see another caution very soon. But nonetheless, the pace car's going in. We're going to be going green again. 20 to go. 2 cautions in thus far. Steve Korosek, he's going to have the command here.
And that late restart zone, I want you to pay attention. See, they don't really take off until they're past that restart zone and the flag waves. That really, that's been the common theme all night, and it really seems to benefit this outside line a little bit. Doesn't really give that inside the jump that we're used to seeing, but nonetheless, Korosek gets off cleanly, Navarro gets off cleanly, and
Seems as though we're clean thus far. Will we see our first clean lap? And we are already 3 wide, of course. We've seen that every bit of lap we've raced.
It's such a dominant 3 wide that it really just kills that second line and leaves a lot of guys hung out to dry, but they're coming through 3 and 4. We're bumping a little bit around.
Oh, we're working again.
Oh, and that I saw that one brewing.
Yup.
On the second and third line, trying to make
boy.
some transfers and getting a little loose, but
And we still will not see our first clean lap out here with the Super Speedway Kings. 3rd caution of the night. 3 almost laps.
Yeah,
but we're gonna have to go back and take a look at that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see what happened there because we saw them getting loose on the second and third line about 5 or 6 cars back. Yeah, well, you can kind of see it in the freeze frame right there. The what is that, 20 something?
The 12
it's
and then the 28.
Behind Eckert again.
The 12 and the 28.
28.
Yep. 28 behind him. That's. I think that might be another one of those situations.
Yeah, Lisa, we'll try to I don't think we can get all 40 at once. We can try to skim through them more frequently though, as opposed to just having the top 20 up for the majority.
Yeah, we'll switch to the split. Jeez, yeah, that collects a lot of vehicles.
We've been trying to make it the top 20 for the first lap just to see how the leaders are doing, but it seems that first lap on the restart's all we have gotten through.
Been able to watch,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Freddie Bassinez was involved there.
Some of these guys might be out because of that one, Luke. I know at least 5 to 10 of these guys have already used their fast repair, so getting caught in that one might be detrimental.
I'm receiving word from down in the down on the road. Tyler Vickery, he made it through. He says his brakes worked and he made it through. Good on him.
Yeah, and that's always a good sign. I know we got some Vickery fans in the chat. Good to see him get through.
Maybe let's see where he was at in that one.
Take a little on-board trip with Tyler Vickery.
And it happens in front of him. Brakes working, yep. And look at that. We're seeing the brakes hard at work out here for Tyler Vickery. And he manages to get through unscathed from that one.
A little bit of a Days of Thunder look, just going straight through the smoke there. On the brakes, not on the throttle like you see in the movie, but definitely opting to take the smart decision there and getting on the brakes and getting through unscathed.
You know, I'm just noticing this, Kevin. I don't know if you've noticed this yet, but I didn't notice that these cars have wings on the back of them. Look at these cars when Tyler approaches the rest of the field. These guys have they got aerodynamic wings on the back of them. Maybe we'll see a little less, drivers ending up on their hoods.
Yeah, and I think the only wings these cars need to worry about at this point is the wing flaps, trying to keep these cars on the ground.
Yeah,
but,
no doubt.
I see what you're talking about, the little translucent
yeah, spoilers back there,
spoiler on the back of it. But I think it's time, Luke.
Oh boy! All right, let's get her going. Let's go ahead and take a look at some featured cars out here tonight. All right, we'll go ahead and start up here in the front. Obviously, we got Daniel Falkingham. Yep, very nice, very nice. First was that first rate bait. Very nice, very nice. Let's see, we got the Snap-on. Gatorade Zero from Alex Hill. Or is that Logan York? That's Logan York, sorry. Or no, it's not. That is Alex Hill. Alex Hill is in the Gatorade. Little Gatorade Zero. I know I'm a fan of Gatorade Zero. Kevin, what about you?
Well, Luke, I kind of shit on the diet and zero sugar drinks last time we were on air.
I was about to say you did, and I kind of want to bring that back up now. So what's your deal with it?
I'd like to apologize to the diet community under second consideration. I think under some circumstances they are pretty good. Now that's not to say I'm still going out and buying the Diet Mountain Dew. I know that's what brought up the argument in the first place, but I could get around to some Gatorade Zero.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm a big fan of Gatorade Zero myself. It just seems like the regular Gatorades are a little too sugary for me. I don't know. It seems like they don't really quite quench the thirst that the Zero does. You know what I mean?
I think the Zero during, like a sporting event is good, and then the regular after. That's my take.
That's fair. That's fair. And how about the number 16 down there in the subway car? I believe that is... Who is that? I think that's David Flanagan. Yep, there he is, David Flanagan. It's another case of the wrong number, wrong driver, but we're seeing him as the number 28, but he's the number 16.
I'm a huge Subway fan. To all you Subway haters, I know there's a lot of you out there. I just want to say,
go fuck yourself.
Because,
yeah, fuck yourself. Subway's the shit. I don't care what y'all say.
Because you're making the sandwich. How can you hate on the sandwich?
Exactly.
You know
That's the point I've made for years. If you don't like Subway or any other place you gotta, or Chipotle, any place you get to build it and you don't like it, I'm sorry. You made it.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you make it different. Pick something different. And I'm seeing a lot of nice schemes out here. I'm seeing Joshua McCullough in the We Are the People. Look at that. Declaration of Independence on the side of his car there. That's pretty sweet.
That's a good-looking scheme.
And we got a lot of nice ones out here. We're seeing the number 18 Skittles car up there. I believe that is Sebastian Marin. Yep, Sebastian Marin. He's rocking the number 18 Skittles Zombies car.
Good-looking car.
Cody Neagles and his Wagner welding. We see traditionally out here with him. And how about Matthew Baker down there on the low line, number 5 in his Coasting Thunder car. And a lot of pretty schemes out here tonight, but as much as we love to talk about it, Kevin, we're getting ready to go green. And it seems a little pimp bounce there from the pace car, but skip off the way, pace car. We're going green. We're going to be going green again out here tonight with the Super Speedway Kings. Will we see our first clean lap again out here? We will see. The green flag is being waved, and we are green out here with the Super Speedway Kings at Talladega.
Yeah, racing at Talladega is always fun, but it's super fun when they do these restarts and we see the biggest moves because everyone's starting to pull it together, and we're looking for our first clean lap. I think we're going to get it here because we don't see that immediate third line that we've been seeing, and that seems to be stacking the pack up a little bit.
We are. Well, third line's already there. It's a little further back.
That's more the second line.
Yeah, never mind. Never mind.
They seem to have it a little bit better sorted out than we're used to, but dropping down to the middle, that's what has really been killing them, and it seems to be that they have done it somewhat cleanly this time, coming out of 4. We're too wide with the third line.
Boy, they are shifty.
Shaking around.
They are shifty.
In the back, but all in all, the hardest lap is the first lap on the restarts, and
we got it out of the way.
Books.
We've officially got our first clean lap in here at the Super Speedway Kings, and holy Jesus, I believe it's 4 wide up near the front, or at least it was for a second. And it is getting.
And here it comes again.
Oh
and
my God!
Almost pinches him there. That was a scary sight.
Oh, and it's getting shifty back there. We're seeing 4 wide. Oh boy, and this is going to get nerve-wracking. We're 4 wide going into turn 3. And oh, sweet mama. That subway car riding up high. That's David Flanagan. He's riding the high line. He makes it through the 4 wide situation, but that 4 wide's just going to get forced behind him as everyone's seeing that the 4 wide's kind of working. They're going to try to pick their lines and get around it. And oh boy, it is shifty, but Alex Hill currently in the lead. He's got a nice lead there with Steve Korosek behind him. But boy, it is chaos behind him, and it is...
Take a look at one of these onboards of these guys on the third line. Maybe Logan York, I know he's up there. And just see not only how fast they're going on that third line, but how they're making these moves happen. Kind of Euroshak, I like this one. Oh!
Oh!
And he's hard into the wall right as
Oh,
we
and
say
they're wrecking
that.
behind him!
We're wrecking
Oh,
hard.
boy! Oh, jeez.
And just...
Just like that, it happens again.
I mean, let's take a look at the standings. I know, Logan York up to second off that.
Sebastian Marin, I saw him go up in the air. He took a hard hit back there. And we are going to have our 4th caution of the night. 13 laps to go.
It looked like Vickery might have been in the heart of that one. Let's take a look at some replays of that one. It seems we kind of missed it.
Yeah, we
were
watching the
excited
onboard.
and wanted to see an in-car.
Oh, and it looks like it happens right around Sebastian Marin.
The Skittles mobile, yeah.
Oh, no, it looks like a little bit of an accordion effect happens in front of him. And, oh, God. Bit of an accordion effect happens in front of him, and it sends him hard into the wall. Sean Corbett went off the track back there.
A hard hit for Tyler Vickery in the 124. I do believe he has his fast repair, though, so...
Yeah, Nathan Harper involved as well. We'll see that one more time. Actually, we'll go back just a little further. Maybe look at the blimp view here.
Yeah, I'm paying attention to that gray Skittles car alongside the 21 green car that kind of gets into the wall.
That's Connor Eurosack.
Yeah, it gets super stuffed up. We saw the in-car of that. We
didn't see what happened behind him.
And that's that 124. That's Vickery. His hood goes up. They both get into it pretty hard. Everybody else seems to be somewhat safe there, but that's going to bring out your 4th caution of the night.
I'm a little intrigued here.
To go.
Looking at the onboard of Euroshack here, let's see what happened in front of him that led to all that here. So he gets a bump, and it seems as though that inside line just gets stuffed up.
He got super stuffed up.
The
accordion just killed him.
And then obviously the guys behind him not ready to check up, and it shows as, oh boy, we see our 4th caution of the night out here. And a lot of drivers in the pits. Sebastian Marin's still in there. You gotta wonder, is his night on the question out here? I believe he's been involved in a couple wrecks out here thus far tonight, with only 1 fast repair on the night. It's
the biggest mover of the night.
Scary.
The biggest mover of the night is going to be James Wagner. He's plus 26 right now since the start, from 36 to P10. So a good run for him so far. I think he's clean too, Luke.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at his car overall, it looks clean. I mean, seems as though he's stayed out of all that. Out of all 4 of those big ones out here we've seen tonight at Talladega, I mean, we really haven't seen any small wrecks out here tonight. Easy to say. I mean, it's been an exciting one out here tonight. But let's. I think we're all kind of hoping the guys will scrounge things together and get things a little more clean, and we can get a couple more clean laps in. Yeah, so far these drivers made it exciting tonight.
Yeah, and we're seeing these incidents, and we don't like pacing, we don't like yellows, so it's a little unfortunate there. But the racing we're seeing that's leading up to them is it's last lap racing, Luke. They're racing about as hard as they can, and all the transfers we're seeing is kind of what's causing it, but it's also kind of what's making it as entertaining as it is.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Kevin. I mean, it's definitely a very exciting race thus far tonight. I mean, if they could get just a couple more clean laps in here and we could see that, like, a little more... I mean, I know how hard it is, but clean 4-wide driving, I mean, that was... From the bits we saw back there, it was beautiful. So, I mean, I'm hoping these guys can get it together and we can see some really clean 3, maybe even 4-wide driving, because it was beautiful when we saw it.
Yeah, and Malik Ray is going to be your leader as of now. Falkingham's staying up there. All up there. How about the top 3 being the Coca-Cola drivers?
And the top 4 being the top 4 being the world class in general. I mean, that is a strong top 4.
Maybe some chemistry between them. Maybe some understanding of driving styles and.
Yeah, just to look at the safety rating and all of your top 4. I mean, look at that. 4 W class drivers, 2 A's, and a B behind them. I mean, that is a very solid top 7. Very
Yeah, it is.
competitive up there in the front. That's going to be the
And
guys to watch.
that's Logan York too, the B class driver. So don't be
Don't count, yeah,
mistaken
don't count
thinking
him out.
don't be mistaken thinking that it's the worst safety rating because he's one of the most talented drivers out here with a lot of success under his belt in these super speedway races.
Yeah, safety rating not always the thing that wins races out here. It's not just numbers that win races, it's the drivers. So numbers can only get you so far, Kevin.
Yeah, and we're gonna be about 10 to go when we go green. We've had 4 cautions. We've had about 4 or 5. I think about 5 green laps total. So one decent green run, and we're, you know, surpassing that just in this last 10 laps.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of pacing out here tonight, but the driving we've seen has been spectacular. So we are in for a treat. Still 35 drivers, it seems, out here on the field at the moment. Pace car is going to be going in, and we're going to see the prolonged restart we love seeing out here at Talladega once again.
Yeah, and it's going to be the command of Malik Ray, who's opted to the outside, which we've seen every single time by these leaders. Alt on his inside. Here we go. 10 to go, Luke. Green flag racing at Talladega. Super Speedway Kings. Late night dash for cash. Green, green, green.
And we're green out here once again. Malik Ray and the other world-class drivers leading us off here tonight. And it's going to be an exciting final 10 laps, Kevin. I know I'm pumped. And I believe we're already wrecking behind. Yep, we're already wrecking. Fifth caution's out. And the wreck happens again. And oh my god, I'm seeing a lot of cars involved.
Trying to get a replay going because right now we're just looking at the pit stalls.
We're gonna have to go back here and look at this one.
Very interesting.
Hard into the wall, the number 14, and that collects about 5-6 cars on the high line.
Go back and maybe look at an overhead, see who caused this one, because there's nothing that upsets these league owners and league regulars more than an incident on the restart. Man, I don't know who to blame on that one because that seemed to be everyone getting super stuffed up. The 150 or 192 up there on the high line doesn't give much room at all, but
I was gonna say, arguably, he's in the second line. I mean, the 33 and the 8 are literally running the white line. So, I mean, it's a very gray area. Well, technically, they're not committed to a line. They're still technically running the middle line. So the 192
one more
isn't
look at
clear.
that, and
Let's run it slow. Yeah, you see the 8 gets clear. The 192...
Well, he's given him enough room right there, and then it seems in the corner of the turn,
gap closes.
It comes down.
Or no, the 7 comes up. The 192 doesn't go down.
Yeah.
The 7 comes up.
You're right. And we missed that initially. That's going to be the 7 car of Sterling Tice, and
yeah, the number 7 comes up and just
comes up.
The number 8 barely gets out unturned, but I lied. I lied. The number 8 kisses the wall. Fuck. I'm sorry.
Arguably, it's the worst of it, but
oh god. Well, there goes another number 8 passing through it. One of the number 8s made it through. But
let's take a look at our standings and see how things shake up there, because I'd imagine the top 5 or 10 is going to be the same, but
yeah, looking at the top 20 right now, that's your top 20. It's going to be all 4 of the W-Class drivers we saw last time. Ray, Alt, Falkingham, and Scott. Kenny Reel still up there. Alex Hill, David Flanagan, Logan York, and Wagner and Horacek are going to be well within your top 10. Looking beyond the top 20 split, we're seeing a lot of drivers. I don't want to say a lot. A good number in the pit. I think I saw about 7 or 8 there right before we jumped back live when we were still looking at the review. But boy, oh boy, so far, Kevin, it's been a wild one. 5 cautions into a 28-lap race.
yeah, and I think we're going to have about 6 to go when we go green here, so we're praying for green at this point, because one more caution, and it's going to take us to that 2-lap shootout, and that's just a little bit too much of a crapshoot for me. I like to see at least a little bit of an extended run.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there, Kevin. Either way, though, still some very exciting racing we've seen thus far tonight. You know, I don't think now would be a terrible time, Kevin. Do you think we should get another poll for the for maybe a new over/under on the cautions? I mean, we've already hit 5.
Yeah, let me cook something up here.
Yeah, we're gonna go and get another poll going in the chat, guys. Let's go ahead and get our new predictions here in just a minute. Kevin's gonna go ahead and get the poll going for you guys here momentarily. So we're gonna be pacing around here for a good minute again.
How many green-white checkers do we have out here?
That's a good question. Let's go ahead and take a look.
I think it's just one.
You know, I'm not seeing one. Maybe we can check the flyer real quick and see if it says on the flyer. Yeah, we're getting green-white checkered. I'm not seeing a number, so I believe it's probably just one. As far as we know. If anybody in the chat knows, or we could get it cleared by the race control, possibly. But as far as it stands, I believe we only have one. And the new poll just entered the chat there. The over-under on 6.5 cautions, including the green-white checkered. Go ahead and get those votes casted, ladies and gentlemen. I am eager to see what everyone's feeling out here for the cautions on the night.
And we're currently at 5, so I'm thinking one more, and then race ending under caution would be the overhitting, which I don't think is too far-fetched for, we have 5 votes all saying over. 7 votes all.
And it seems as though the over is definitely winning out here. It's easy, like, you know, safe to say.
You know, going into turn 3, we got this is our last pace lap until we're going green. We're gonna have 6 laps to go. Plenty of time for these guys. Anybody within like the top 20 knows that this is, you know, enough time to make anything happen, especially with these guys going 3 and 4 wide. I wouldn't count any of these guys that have a clean car out of this race yet.
And so far it seems like we're gonna have, I believe, how many we still got out here in that lead pack? I'm only reading 33, I want to say. I want to say 33 drivers. Either way, the field has thinned. 8 votes on the over on the caution. Pace car is in. They're going to do the dance again. It's going to be 6 to go. It's the command of the flag holder up there. They go across the Geico restart, and the green flag is in the air. Malik Ray takes charge on that outside line. We're green once again at Talladega. And here we go. And, you know, I'm really going to be doing my best here to try to get as much of the just shifting around the track as possible here for these couple laps, because we know it can happen fast out here. And we're obviously already 3 wide. We've seen it all night. Nothing new, and we're even going to be peaking at 4 wide near the back. Yeah, Jack Long's involved in that 4 wide. Oh, and there's a little contact. One's in the wall. They're going to thin back out. It's going to stay clean, though. 3 wide up near the front. Oh, and it's 4 wide up there near the front, just a little further back. Oh, and they're wrecking again. Car's in the wall.
And that's going to be the caution.
6th caution. There it is.
6. And that's going to take us to a...
22's in the wall. Joshua McCullough's involved as well.
That's going to be
Nash Brambilla. Nash Brambilla and Joshua McCullough involved in that one. Unfortunate for those two. Yeah, we're gonna we're going to have to go back and take a look at that one. And it's going to be 6 cautions on the night so far. Oh, boy. Yeah, we're going to definitely have to take a look back at that one, no doubt. Seems as though, apart from the 2 that were involved in the wall right there, though, it seems as though everyone else held it together, I want to say. Now, I mean, we'll have to go back and look again, obviously, but let's see here. So it happens right around the 22 of Nash Brambilla and the 11 of Joshua McCullough. So we see the 4 wide happening in front of them. The number 22, Nash Brambilla, stuffing himself in there. He's going to make it 4 wide. And he's going to slightly bump around. Yeah, he's going to get a little loose there and bump both of those cars there, inside and out. And it's going to put Joshua up into the wall. Brambilla gets spun, gets in front of Joshua. And like you said, that's likely going to likely be Brambilla's night. Maybe we'll get one more look here. Maybe we'll get the overhead.
Yeah, and we're out 6 cautions. I think the most we can see is 7. I think this is going to take us to that green-white checkered. So, you know, one more, and I think that's going to be the race. I'm not 100% sure, though, but,
regardless, we've seen a lot of them out here tonight so far, Kevin. It's been a eventful race. A lot of cautions, a lot of chaos. It's such a short race.
Yeah, and I'm excited for these interviews after the race, Luke, because there's going to be a lot to be said. Not a lot to be asked on our end, though. Not much racing, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, it's not going to be so much racing questions as I feel like it's going to more be caution-related questions, if you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and you know, I pity whoever's on race control tonight because they're gonna need a couple shots of Jack and a Tylenol after what they're gonna have to deal with as far as the not only suspensions but just you know overall guessing who was the aggressor on the incidents. So definitely going to be interesting to see that.
And an unfortunate night so far for Joshua McCullough. He's going to be sitting in the pits here for a while. Not too sure how much longer he's going to be stuck there. And right alongside him, Nash Brambilla. And that front right tire is... you know, I can't tell if maybe he swapped for a stance tire build going in here for the last couple laps. Or if that's a damage factor. But we'll have to see. We're still pacing around. Still time to go. How about Malik Ray, though? He's going to be taking charge again. 3 out of 4 of the W-Class drivers are going to be in your top 4. Alex Hill sneaking in there. He's going to be one that is an A-Class driver, but Falkingham is going to be in P5. So still all 4 of your W-Class drivers running up in your top 5 right now.
Yeah, and I'm pulling up the results of the last race, trying to get that so we can see. Alex Hill got second in the last one. Freddie Basson has won it. But as far as the top 5 of last race and top 5 of what we're seeing right now in this race goes, there's only 1 car of overlap, and that is Alex Hill. The rest are new names. These guys we're seeing up front, didn't really see up front last race. I don't know if they all ran it. Trying to see some of the extended results. I'm not seeing any of those world-class drivers in the top 4 right now that were in the top 18 on the last race. So, I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can get a read on that.
Yeah, sorry about that. My entire monitor just shut off, but we're back, and we're good. Currently putting everything on the right monitor here. Bear with me one moment, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and, you know, I was just waffling about just the least important stuff, so.
Well, that's typical over here at Ninth Gear Broadcasting, Kevin. We find the way to fill in the dead time out here, especially when we have,
6 cautions and 28 laps.
Yeah, 6 cautions and 28 laps so far. So far, that is. We are not done racing out here tonight. We still have, we still got a bit more, and, you know, maybe even more to come. It's still unbeknownst to us. They're going to be going green this time by, though, as they're going back across the back straightaway. And I believe that's... Yep, that's going to be considered our green-white checkered of the night, and it's 1 out of 3. It's 1 out of 3. I'm seeing it at least on iRacing.
All right, so gonna have to pay attention to that.
Pace car is going to be going in here, and we're going to be going green once again. First green-white checkered of the night. It's going to be the command of Malik Ray and Kwame Scott, as they're going to go across the Geico restart. Here we go, once again. Talladega Superspeedway Kings. We're green once again. And off we go.
First green-white checker, 2 to go if everything goes according. And Malik Ray in the lead on that outside. Scott on his inside. That's Kwame Scott. And they're 2x2 right now. Not anything super aggressive. But here comes
there's the third line.
That middle line, and Neagles goes up to the top. And they're all kind of coming down.
All indecisive here.
Trying to shift in. Neagles kind of getting stranded up on that high line.
4 wide in the back.
Scott is going to be your race leader right now. Dylan Alt in second, and Malik Ray in
third. They're wrecking behind him.
They're wrecking hard.
7
that's
cautions out. And oh boy, I think we saw a big one back there. We're going to have to go back, obviously, and look. But oh god, Matthew Baker's car is mangled. Oh boy, this is not good. We're going to have to go back and take a look at that one. That involved a lot of people. 7 cautions on the night out here with Ninth Gear Broadcasting. As soon as I called it, they started to go 4 wide in the back. Let's see what happened there. 64 gets turned sideways, and oh! That's going to collect at least 5-6 cars back there. We're going to have to maybe go with the overview on Matthew Baker, and I know we're probably not going to see one very happy mother in the chat here in a few moments. An unfortunate night here right now for Matthew Baker. We're going to maybe swap to the overhead here.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, Luke, it's really just come down to who qualified the best, who was able to stay in front of the incidents, because people are just getting collected that really didn't deserve to be collected.
Yeah, you see Matthew Baker up there just trying to stay out of it, trying to stay out of harm's way, and the wreck just gravitates up to him.
Just absolutely nails him.
Dog
Corbett's
pile.
in it. The 24 cars in it. That's going to be no, that's not.
Joey Mizowitz is involved, the number 64. He's the one that got turned sideways there. Maybe we'll go back and take a look at the overhead of him. Maybe just take a look at what happened. Maybe. So it seems as though he was riding that high line there, I believe, with the number 24 for a while. 24 starts to clear down low, and the 64 thinks he's clear down low and just slides in front of the 24. And it just leads to chaos, unfortunately, for all those involved behind him, Matthew Baker being one of them. His car got mangled.
Go ahead and end the poll here on 10 votes, all saying over. I mean, that was an easy one, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. And yeah, you know, we're 7 cautions in out here on the night, Kevin. It's shaping up to be a night of pace laps.
I'm going to start a new poll, Luke, and it's going to be a little bit different.
Oh, boy. We're going to see our 3rd poll on the evening here, ladies and gentlemen. 7 cautions on the night with Super Speedway Kings. We're an hour into this one, Kevin. It's been a long one for a 28-lap race. We've had a long time to sit here and bullshit and look at all the nice car schemes. Currently, still your front runners is going to be Kwame Scott Dylan Alt, Malik Ray, Daniel Falkingham, all the W class drivers out here just looking at the battle box. Your battle for first when we go green. Austin Hill in P5, Logan York in P6, and Kenny Reel in P7. And that is a great poll looking at the chat there, ladies and gentlemen. Times shit show is said in the SSK Discord tonight. 5 or more or 4 or less. Make sure we get those votes cast, and I'm very intrigued to see the outcome of that one.
Oh, it's already at 1. I've just been informed by Devin, so I'm confident in the over on this one as well.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you here, Kevin. I believe this is going to be a race for controversy tonight. 7 cautions with a very short amount of laps. It's bound to have some controversy here.
Man, that is. Take a look. We have a lot of parked cars. I don't know if you can see who's out on the tower, but just looking at the map, we got a lot of cars parked there in the pits.
I'm seeing Corbett in the pits right now. Joey Meisowitz is reading, I believe. Oh no, Meisowitz is in there. Corbett's in the pits. Baker's in the pit. Josh McCullough and Ash Brambilla, we know they're both in the pits. David Davis, I'm not getting a read on him. Steve Sizemore, Mike George, Sebastian Marin, and Matt Lee. So as it stands right now, I believe Joey Meisowitz is the very back. He was the car that got turned sideways, but he's still in this. I do believe he is a lap down. He's P28. We'll see here when the tower swaps down. Yeah, he's a lap down, but he's currently the lucky dog candidate. So, I mean, if it goes to a third green-white checkered as we are on our second, that would put him back on the lead lap. But regardless, it has been a story of wrecks out here so far tonight. Kwame Scott and Dylan Alt managing to stay in the front 2 here. But Malik Ray and Falkingham, I know they're a common household name out here in the SSK League, and it's going to be a shootout here. Whatever green-white checker, whether it's the second or the third one we go on tonight.
And it is it's been said a second time by Devin in the chat, so maybe a little bit of ah shit, what's the word for that? The thing that Pete Rose did with the betting. You know what I'm talking about, fraudulating the lines or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called.
I don't know what the word you're. I also don't know what the word you're searching for is, but either way. And yeah, it has been a story of wrecks tonight, Kevin. It's been a wild one. But the pace car is going to be going in. Second green-white checkered of the night. Kwame Scott and Dylan Alt, they're going to be in the lead here. Malik Ray and Daniel Falkingham backing them up.
And 2 to go for the second time tonight. And we are coming to the Geico restart zone, getting ready to go. Brambilla going through 3 and 4 right now, trying to catch up. But as for the main pack, we are green.
Seems as though we're already getting a car below the yellow line there across the restart. A bit of a funky restart, it seems, for maybe some of the drivers back there, but we're green again this time by 2 laps to go.
Good run on the inside. Dylan Alt making it work on the outside. Ray and Falkingham pushing them. And,
they're 3 wide behind them.
Already some, very aggressive transfers, but, as for the leaders go, they're still 2 wide, really making it work on the first and second line. Having to, stay away from that third line because it just doesn't seem to have been working that much. Ooh, and, a checkup on the inside. That's going to strand Kwame Scott a lot.
Oh, and the 2 gets a little loose, but he holds it together.
Oh, and
they're on the wall. They're wrecking behind them. Is the white flag going to come out? The white flag is out, and we're going to be racing. Dylan and Daniel Falkingham, they're going to be up in the lead. Malik Ray and Kenny Reel behind them.
Yeah, and that's going to collect a lot of cars, but it should be cleared out by the time they come back.
He's
Falkingham
clear.
Goes to the bottom.
They're fanning out. They're 3 wide.
How about Hill and Eagle, or Hill and
Yeah, Hill and Eagles. They're getting the run on the inside line. Look at that inside line go. They're running.
And this don't believe the unofficial results that it shows in the top left, because we are still racing to the line here, folks.
And oh boy, it's going to be a close one. Daniel Falkingham, but Cody Neagles hot on his heels. Who's going to get it done? Cody Neagles with the transfer to the inside. Falkingham holds high. Cody Neagles looks like he has the advantage. There's the bump. It's coming.
They're pushing.
Falkingham looks like he crosses.
Falkingham steals one.
Wow. And they're wrecking behind him. What a finish by Daniel Falkingham and Cody Neagles. And holy shit. Oh, sweet mama, they're wrecking behind him.
Good Lord.
Oh my god. But Daniel Falkingham getting things done out here tonight with the Super Speedway
transfer
Kings.
for David Flanagan. He came out of nowhere. He got into a podium spot. Kwame Scott was able to recover after getting stranded out, and he gets into a top 4 position.
And holy shit, Daniel Falkingham steals one.
And
at
Flanagan
the
was
Super Speedway
running
Kings.
P11. Neils was running P13 on that final restart. So a great run for both of them, and a very dramatic finish to a very dramatic race, as Daniel Falkingham's gonna run the victory shitties, and not much more you can ask for out of Falkingham's race. He ran up front all race. He stayed out of just about every incident. He probably still has his fast repair, which can't be said for many of these guys. But yeah, just a great race for a lot of the guys, and we got the finish we wanted, Luke.
Hey, no doubt, Kevin, and we're pulling up the official results right now. Daniel Falkingham wins by 0.014 of a second. Cody Neagles finishing in P2, and a great race for him, by the way. David Flanagan getting the good transfer up to P3. Kwame Scott finishes P4, Alex Hill P5, and that's just going to be your top 5 with many more to follow. And what a crazy end to a crazy race, Kevin. That was a wild one with the Super Speedway Kings.
Yeah, and that it was, and ooh.
Chills, Kevin. Absolute
Just
chills.
a lot to be said about this race. I know a lot of these guys aren't going to be too thrilled, but I'm excited to see what some of them have to say. I don't know if we are. I don't know if we're going to get David Flanagan. I don't know. I see we have 2 of the top 3 finishers here in the interview waiting room. We're going to give it just a couple more seconds, see if we can get Flanagan. And yeah, he did just join, so how about we get David Flanagan over here and see what he has to say. And well, as it turns out, I no longer have permissions to drag the drivers.
Let's see if I do.
Try to get David Flanagan over here.
David Flanagan, guys in the booth, do you read me?
Yep, I got you.
Man, how about that race? It was a chaotic race from start to finish. I mean, incident after incident. The pace car led the most laps out there tonight, but you were running 11th off that final restart, and you were able to get through the chaos up front and get up into a podium position. You want to talk us through how that one went?
Yeah, so basically everybody cleared up because they were wanting to be on the top and keep their right rears safe, and I had my teammate Trev behind me, and the cars just stacked. We just kept pushing and pushing, and then people kept dropping and dropping, and it just cleared us from the mess. And yeah, we were able to pull off this 3rd place.
Yeah, it was a great run for you. Any comment on how the incidents just kept happening? It was a lot off the restarts, but you know, you can see it better than we can.
Yeah, so these cars in general get some pretty big runs, and then you add this set to it, and it's just, I mean, it's a whole different monster of a run. I noticed it as soon as I drove out of the pits on the set just to test it. So I think people were just struggling with how big the checkups were and what to do with their runs. So I think that's just what it was. It wasn't anything. It's just an experience thing. Like if we were to run it like 2-3 more times, I'm pretty sure people would be used to it, and it wouldn't be as bad. There'd still be yellows, but it wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah, well, thanks for the interview, David. It was a great run for you. Was able to get into the money and get yourself a good finish. So thanks for that and congratulations. Anybody you'd like to shout out before we get you out of here?
Yeah, shout out to the Jack Shack and Trev and Kenny, both my teammates in this race. And then shout out my friends over at Chrome Racing. And yeah, thanks for putting on the broadcast, guys.
All right, I appreciate it, David. Congrats.
Thank you.
And let's go ahead and get our second place finisher, Cody Neagles, in now, Luke. It appears I can drag the guys, but it's not letting me like actually drag. I have to go into the settings and do it. But regardless, see if we can get Cody in here.
Cody, guys in the booth, do you read us?
Yeah.
Hey Cody, how about that race? It was I'm sure a couple people are gonna call it a shit show. We like to call it
An exciting, eventful race. A dramatic finish.
Race. But a lot of cautions, a lot of incidents. You were able to keep yourself, somewhat near the front, and then on that last restart, you were able to make the transfer of, I think it was 11 or 12 positions and get up into the money for the second time tonight. You want to talk us through how those cars felt and how that finish felt?
Yeah, I mean, I think the caution count in this race probably more than anything has to do with the runs and how quick the runs come in the car. And we have 28 laps regularly in the regulation. 28 laps without overtime, but with the overtime we had 33. But full fuel, nobody's pitting. The field doesn't have a chance to get spread out, which is why the racing was the way it was. I think if we maybe shortened the fuel cell, that we would have been fine, but that's not what the dash is. So maybe we just go back to the drawing board and kind of realize that this car is better for long-term races and not dash races. But with that being said, I just kind of went with where the momentum was, and I seen light at the end of the tunnel, and then my teammate Alex Hill, I just pushed him for everything I was worth, and it looked like we were going to go 1-2 again. But Dan did a good job of blocking, because the block got me and Alex separated, which was what he needed to have happen for that kind of finish. So hats off to Dan there. If he didn't get me and Alex split up, he was basically a sitting duck, but he did it perfectly, and then it was just me and Dan at the end, and I should have speed matched him coming to the line, so I'll take it.
Yeah, and getting in the money twice tonight. I'm not quite sure, but I read these races tonight were important to you, so it's good to hear that you were able to get some good finishes out of it. One more question I gotta ask. It seems to be these second races are causing a lot of incidents. Do you think that's because they're running cars that a lot of these drivers aren't familiar with, or do you think it's because it's a shorter race and, like you said, nobody really has to, or like somebody said, I don't know if it was you said, no pits, you gotta get to the front in a hurry. So, you think...
I think probably that it's just the race length, basically. And, like, it's Friday night, too. I mean, let's be honest. There's guys out here drinking. I mean, kicking back after a long, hard week at work. It is what it is. We get later in the night and the races tend to get sloppier. It's just that way across iRacing in general. And I enjoy the late night races, but it is what it is. The dash races will never be as clean, I don't think, as the longer distance races where we have a chance with a smaller fuel cell to actually get the spread of the fuel out.
Yeah, I gotta agree, and congratulations on the, not only P2 finish, but the pair of top fives on the night. Thanks for the interview. Anyone you'd like to shout out before we get you out of here?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for supporting SSK and doing the broadcast in the second race. Thank everyone at Nightmare Esports. Big shout out to Wagner's Welding for being sponsor on the car, Icon Apparel, and I might not have got the win, but this one is for my Uncle Charles and my grandpa. I know he's not, taking it very well right now, so my thoughts are with my entire family. And again, I didn't put it in victory lane, but I'm very happy with the result.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers with your family, Cody, and congratulations on the finishes. It wasn't victory lane, but it was damn close, and got some extra cash for the weekend. So thanks for the interview, and congrats, Cody.
Thank you.
And I don't know.
All right,
There it
there we
is.
go. And hey, before we
And
get the race winner in here, I want to do a quick little
I saw you looking at it.
honorary wreck of the night here. Freddie Bassinez. Holy shit! Right as soon as they cross the checkered flag, Freddie decides he wants to have a little bit of fun there at the end and decides to just gas it right into turn 1 and 2, and just slam up into that fucking wall.
Bam!
And just does a couple of good flips and spins there. Crazy wreck there at the end. But yeah, let's get our race winner in here. Yeah, let's get our race winner.
Hey, Daniel, guys in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, how we doing?
Good. That was a long 28 laps of racing. You were able to stay in the front, mainly stay out of most of those incidents, and then capitalize off of it. Split up Cody and his teammate there at the end with the block and bring it home and get the checkered flag. You want to talk us through how that race went and how those cars felt?
Yeah, definitely was good to qualify on pole there and just have the track position because there's no pit stops, no nothing. We know these dash for catches are like these just dashes to the finish with no pit stops. They're going to tend to get a lot of wrecks. So qualifying was important. We did just that, qualified up there, and pretty much just stayed up there the whole night and stayed ahead of all the wrecks, thankfully. But yeah, driving these cars tonight with the whatever modified setup we had, like we were ripping in these cars. Like we were almost near hitting 210 into at the end of the straightaways, and made the front end push a little bit. Like we were actually battling a little bit of a tight condition during that race with just how fast we were going. So that was definitely interesting to handle right there. But definitely, like especially what I noticed, I feel like the tandem was definitely like more stronger than was much stronger than usual compared to like if we're on a standard fixed set, because like me and Dylan were able to get out there. We were able to side draft, and something I noticed, I feel like the side draft was way stronger than it usually is in this car. I know it's strong anyway, but it felt like you couldn't even like clear on the bottom whatsoever. Or maybe just I haven't run this car in such a long time, so trying to get my memory back, I guess. So but yeah, definitely was interesting to drive with like kind of how handling came into it a little bit with how tight it would push on entry and whatnot. But other than that, was a pretty standard, normal Gen 6 race. A lot of tandems, a lot of drafting, lots of side drafting. Way you got to think about your moves, and feels good to get into one of these races and not have that gridlock like we have in like the truck and Xfinity car. So it was definitely a lot of fun all around. But yeah, definitely wish the race wasn't as wreckfest filled as it usually is.
Yeah, and it was just a dominant run for you. Got the pole, then got the checkered flag. I think the only car that actually dominated more laps was the pace car, but other than that, it was a good run. It was a very fun to watch race, especially that end. So, thanks for the excitement and congratulations on the win. Anybody you'd like to shout out before we get you out of here?
Yeah, just shout out Jimmy for putting this stuff on. All the admins who do this as well. I know Jimmy's very passionate about this kind of stuff, and I know races like this tend to get him down, but hopefully we can pick it up next week and have some much better racing, because I know there's a good group of guys that can put on some great racing out here. So appreciate Jimmy for inviting me over here to come run this stuff. I really appreciate him a lot. Guess I got his trust and whatnot, so I appreciate all he does for this community. Shout out to everyone who came out and raced. Shout out to Cody there at the end. We had a good door banging finish right there. It was close, but I was able to pull him back on the side draft coming out of turn 4 right there. So shout out to Cody. Good finish there. Thanks to you guys for broadcasting. Shout out to Baker, Nathan Harper, and also Matt T. Lee. We all tried to work together during that race, but we were all pretty much split up throughout the pack the whole night. So shout out to those guys, and yeah, thank you everybody. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks for talking to us, and congratulations on the win, Daniel.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
Thanks. That was your race winner, Daniel Falkingham, Luke, in an exciting finish. Door-to-door with Cody Nagels, and I don't know, man. It was a race. I like it, Luke.
Hey, I thought it was exciting.
I'm gonna be the first to say,
and I'll be the second.
At least 3 of those cautions, I'm fine with, because
I thought those were awesome.
Because as fun as it'd be to see these guys out here running single, double file, and staying green for 28 laps, the reason we see these incidents is because these guys race so hard. And like Daniel said, Jimmy might get down about this, but I think it's a testament to how big of a series he's put together and how passionate he's gotten these drivers to be about the racing, that they are going for wide and they are getting a little bit squirrely, and they are, racing to the fullest of their ability. So I have no problem with how this race went.
And I thought it was an absolute blast, Kevin. I had an absolute blast just watching it and getting to commentate it. I can only imagine the excitement the drivers out here tonight. Daniel Falkingham managing to just, I mean, like you said it back there, it was a miracle. He really did get that nice side draft there and shot himself up to get that win. But good finish by Cody Neagles and Daniel Flanagan also getting into that podium finish. It was an absolute blast, Kevin, with the Super Speedway Kings. Another big shout out to them for having us again. Any final thoughts here before we close things out, Kevin?
Yeah, just a thanks to Jimmy for having us. A thanks to the Super Speedway Kings as a whole for putting it on. All these drivers coming out, putting on a show every Friday night, twice. Thanks to Landon Velicky and PGR. They've been helping us out a great deal with, getting up and running. So a shout out to them. A couple upcoming races I'd like to mention before we get out of here. We got on Sunday night, we have CMS, that's Champion Motorsports, led by Tim Collier. That's going to be at Iowa in the trucks, so that's going to be a fun race. And then Wednesday we have R&R. That's going to be back in the Xfinities. A little bit more super speedway racing with James Wagner, so that's going to be super exciting as well. So exciting things happening, but I think that's about all I got, Luke.
Yeah, it was an absolute blast out here again. Another big thank you to Jimmy Crow for putting this thing on, and it's been Ninth Gear Broadcasting. Guys, been in the booth. We had a blast.